I think I just leave it to them if they want to come and we can present it to them if they want to. If we still want to try to get it done Wednesday, we can. I'd like to get it done Wednesday if we can. If get something worked out one way or another. Because
okay, well then I think I'd like to get it to them before then. So if you could let me know today or tomorrow if you have any comments. Or yeah, probably today or tomorrow by noon. If you have any comments, I could get it to them tomorrow afternoon.
all right, well that way they can fire back questions or whatever and stuff. Okay, and or we can have a session on Wednesday. So. How long do you anticipate that commercial business thing taking?
I don't have any idea.
We put an hour and a half, but that just, you know, it could be less than that.
Okay. Well, let's just go ahead and leave Tex in there at 9:15, and we'll try to get your suggestions to them and try to get that worked out. And if we can't get it resolved by fifth meeting, okay. Time is not of the essence right now.
But did Jeff get on the schedule for tomorrow?
But I don't think he did anything about changing it. He couldn't change it, so we're back on for Wednesday. The way he explained to this morning, we'll be back on for Wednesday. So, just so we're all on the same page on that. So. Okay.
Actually, I do have one more question.
Yes.
When we're doing this remodeling, does the county pay utilities on that building once the other services in there, or did they?
We pay utilities.
We pay the utilities even when they're in there?
With who's in it?
With texting?
Yeah, we maintain all the facilities.
Okay. So we pay the water,
Whether
sewer, and all that?
it's going to be, whether we have on here access and, whatever.
Okay.
Pay that, yeah.
I just thought it was a question that me and JD had, if we pay utilities or not.
Yeah.
So,
We pay them currently. So
yes.
It's
Currently,
higher, but you said, I think the question is there's no air conditioning.
there will be, that's part of that bid.
Is it central air unit, or you put window air conditioning?
No. It has a furnace that's 2 years old, and so all we have to do is add an A coil and a condenser to it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So you feed it.
Yep.
Okay.
And the reason we asked that question is currently the rescue building gets its power from the Noxious Weed building. So if they were going to pay their own electrical, then we'd have to separate that. That's why I wanted to know. But if the county still pays utilities, then it won't be a problem.
Yeah, you probably have to pay if you hook another meter up. If
You pay a minimum.
You pay another minimum, so.
Yep.
Okay, well, I think we can guesstimate that, so we really, I think, to be fair to both departments, you'd want to have that, try to get that, separated out the best we can.
Yeah.
So, okay.
We can figure out what they use and what our building would use. Yep.
Well, you know what you used last year.
We split it out half and half currently. That's the way that emergency management pays for the rescue building and Noxious Weed pays for the Noxious Weed building, and it's supposed to bill half and half, which is probably about what it is.
Chad, you or any of your other counterparts here, do you have any other questions or comments or anything
No,
here or stuff?
I just need
I appreciate you guys coming up, appreciate the information, and sorry for the miscommunication, but.
That's fine. We just want to know if you need, I just need to know if you need more information before we take off today. I got Patrick the estimated amount we spent on maintenance this year for the vehicles and the monthly, how much it was costing monthly for all utilities for the building.
Okay, that's good.
So
That would have been the only thing, I think, when we left the other day,
Right.
that was the thing that we were gonna try to resolve so we could know, but I think.
$608 a month, so we pay utilities, not counting phone.
Yeah, that's a little better than I thought, but that's okay. That's good. I mean, I think it's, I figured it might be a little higher, but that's good. That's good, okay.
We just don't turn on the air heater, it's optional. Joking.
Spend most time outside.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Fresh air.
Fresh air good for us. Alright, well good, if there's any folks on anything else, just give me a call if you do, and we'll
Thank
I
you.
haven't heard anything back on the email I sent about the building. I don't know if you had any discussion.
I did discuss it with the hospital. They had to go through the right channels, but I'll check again today. I spoke with them last week about it, and they said yes, we're looking into that, and I haven't heard anything back. They said they're going to get back to you on it. So I will. I'll go up there and talk to them about it today and get it more definite.
I do have some questions that come with that.
All right, awesome.
As I did have a little time, I think, on Friday, I did a little research on ambulance. What is the, there's about 4 different kinds. They call it type 1, type 2, type 3.
There's actually, in the state of Kansas, there is type 1, type 2A and B, and type 5. Those are the 4 types of ambulances in Kansas. Type 1 would be your advanced life support ambulances, and that means that you have to have a minimum of 1 paramedic on board, and usually it's an EMT. The state does allow a first responder to do that role, an EMR. But most advanced life support would prefer, again, paramedic and an EMT. And it has to have the equipment to man that vehicle with the advanced life support equipment. The next level is a lot of the smaller services, more rural services will do is a type 2A. That means that your ambulance is upgradable. You have a basic life support ambulance, therefore if you aren't able to get a paramedic on a truck and so forth, kind of like Effingham is doing now, then you don't have to have it on. You can run it as 2 EMTs or an EMT and an EMR, which is a first responder, and but you have the equipment available to upgrade to advanced life support. And as soon as you throw the personnel on there, you're ready to go. The next level is level 2, type 2B. And that just means you're going to be basic life support all the time. You're not expecting to go up. You don't have to have the equipment to upgrade and so forth. And then the last one is type 5. I know they jumped a few numbers, but that's a helicopter. That's a flight. Doesn't have a helicopter, it can be fixed wing as well. But that's
the type 3 doesn't really apply.
He's talking body style.
You're talking body style, not
Yeah.
okay.
Body style,
Yeah.
Thank you. Different question. Type 1, type 2, and type 3. Those are the national standards. Those are those are the type of ambulances. So your type 1 is your van style, type 2 is your truck chassis, and your type 3 is your module, meaning it's self-built it's meant to be an ambulance.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's 2 different systems. I thought you were talking about
I
it.
understand how I'm still learning. But I just, I was doing a little looking around here, and there's a lot of ambulances available, even there are some good used ones.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's not as many good used ones per se, that have low mileage. And some of these, I think the posting date, when I look at the posting date, they're probably gone by now because they're 3 or 4 months ago. But, anyway, I just was looking, there is a nice range of prices. And, but I just want to know what, of those basically 3 types in a fleet, what would you expect to have, a little combination of all of them, or what?
Usually, a service will stick with 1 type of ambulance. That way the layout's the same, and it's easier for people to go in and out without getting confused where equipment is, and without the work of them. We currently have type 3s, so they have crawl-through spaces between the front and the back, better communication through the front and the back. A type 2 will have, at the truck chassis, and they're separated. There might be a window or something like that, but it's harder to get back to help get a pull over and jump out. Some of us have to do that anyway, but there is a crawl-through in the other system. The vans are good, but limited space to operate in the back of a van style, and that's the problem with those.
Well, it just looked to me like the type 3 is probably, compared to what I've seen, that's probably what we had, and that seems to be kind of in between the 1 and the 2.
Right, and that's exactly what it is. It's a purpose-built vehicle. They were built to be ambulances. They have tendency to be a little sturdier, and so forth.
Has, Tech Sync people talked to you and asked you questions and stuff like that?
They have. I've had received a couple phone calls from them, answering questions and so forth, what I could. They've been really curious about the system, but that's about it. Really haven't gone in great details.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good that they communicated with you.
Do you guys don't have any Chevys in your lineup, do you?
I'm
Is it
sorry?
Chevy, you got all Fords?
We're all Fords right now, yes.
6 of them, too many 6 of them. Well, there are 2 or 3 that pulled up, but they got the Chevy Duramax and stuff. Yeah, do you guys have any experience with the Chevy Duramax?
Yes, my last service we did. Have you?
Yeah, we got Duramax up there now.
Yeah. They work.
I've been really trying to pay. So far.
Well, I know some of the services are going back to gas engines.
That has been a tendency in the last couple of years. I've run into a couple different services that are going to gas engines. The mileage you get is less than the diesels, but it's they seem to think the durability is greater, which I can't see. I understand, but I haven't been driving them myself I haven't driven gas engines since '94, so I really don't have much experience with those.
I still don't think you're going to get the long term. We've got a good mechanic here. I know some of the gas engines are better than they used to be years ago, but I don't think you'll still get the mileage out of a gas engine.
Probably with gas, because maintenance on the diesel so high. You and I have discussed 6 of those before.
Well, the fuel cost for diesels is higher now than it used to be. I can't see us getting more durability out of gas engines than we would a diesel engine.
No, and I guess I would hope, I never know how long I could be here, but I would hope that we would get a little better plan in place so that our replacement, would
Rotating
be a better
schedule would be very appropriate. Where as one's retiring, we have another one coming in, and every on a rotating schedule, every couple of years we should have a new ambulance coming in. If we have 4 especially.
Yeah, that would put you on an 8-year rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that'd be hard.
Not with the miles we put on. I think an 8-year rotation would be very appropriate.
Well,
Every 2
and
years.
I think if you get, it looks to me like just when I was looking around that there is a good market out there for you. So I mean, it's not as if that those that you're trading back in are going to be worthless.
Oh no, there is a market, and a lot of the sellers, well, all sellers will take your vehicle in on trade.
Right.
And if you don't want to do that, there's actually other places where you can sell them. What is that? Purple Wave. You can sell them on there. You can even donate them to other departments. Fire departments often use them as first response vehicles or rescue vehicles. I mean, you're just saying that, but yeah, I've seen that quite often. So you can stay in the county actually instead of purchasing the vehicles. Where I've seen some people buy them up just to make campers out of them.
Actually, I found one here that ain't got no money. But if you find somebody that wants to donate some money, I could get you a new one. I throw a new one here pretty quick.
Oh yeah. If that would be, I'll work on that.
You can.
I'll work on that.
How much you need?
Yeah, a lot.
There you go.
Now, in 2010, the Oklahoma City was only 27,000 miles. It's a Type 3
Really?
for 65,000.
Let's say I would ask for 60,000, 70,000.
Question is, should you add another 30,000, just get a new one if you got a warranty? I didn't do that.
Jefferson County has the new Chevys.
Who did?
Jefferson County has 2 new Chevys, and we asked them how they like their new Chevys.
No, we didn't get into that discussion.
They want to go back to Ford.
Okay.
Those Chevys, from what I've been hearing from them, is they're ones in the shop every other day.
Now, you might be biased now. You hooked into.
Oh, I drive Chevy.
Yeah.
I got Chevy and Ford. This is from my instructor for my EMT class, who's their training officer.
Is it James?
James Tweed, no, it's Mike Baxter, but James Tweed was also in my EMT class, and they're having lots of issues with the tuning shed.
Leavenworth County does too.
Do they?
The air ride systems are part of the problem.
And they're having motor problems with one of their Chevys. So.
But, you know, it's also the manufacturer, and we'll see how they're putting it together.
Yep.
That's why you get a warranty.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying, I said that because that's why a warranty is excellent, because they would have spent a lot of money if they didn't have a warranty.
It'd be nice, I mean, we've got a Chevy dealer here in town, I mean, if they have the mechanic or the capability, but, you know, sometimes those, you know, a diesel mechanic, it's a pretty special person for a good diesel mechanic, and you wanna make sure you got a good mechanic, you know, local, I'd save you a lot of time, hassle going somewhere, so. I know when we, you know, Foster out there didn't have a mechanic for quite a time.
That's good to see.
Get Pittsburgh, Manhattan, too, so, anyway. All right, Tom, you have any other questions?
No, I had nothing.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, thank you. Any questions, just give us a contact, or let you know when we can. Thanks.
I'm not here too. What are you up to?
I'm gonna get some questions answered.
Come right on up here, we'll put you on hot seat.
Are there questions that I didn't hear about?
Sure.
Then I'll stay here.
Yeah. What's the
You can sit there comfortable.
I'm comfortable right here.
All right, go right ahead.
I have this big speech prepared, but since you're not really having a meeting, I'll give that one. So, I just got some questions I've read in the paper, which is always true. Have you decided how you're gonna fund this EMS system that you're trying to create again?
Yes and no. I mean, I think tentatively it looks like that there will be some of that some of the sales tax money will be, we've already got a mill levy right now. That's what's been funding it for years. It's like 2.5 mills, generates 300, with gift tax and stuff, it generates about $325,000. Okay, evaluation will go up a little bit, so you'll gain a little bit if you leave that mill levy as such.
Understandable, yeah.
Okay, so it appears it's gonna take close to get this thing up and going, just that if we do a contract with, say, for example, Tex, it's gonna cost around $800,000. And that doesn't include any new capital improvements. My recommendation or my suggestion, and we haven't, you know, fully all discussed this, is then figure out what we're gonna, capital improvements, and put that on a 5-year loan. So, you know, and that way we could spread it out over time, rather than.
No fund warrant, you mean?
Well, we could do it, yeah.
They don't call it that anymore.
No, it's
Mr. Logan.
And then if you end up, I mean, that, you always got the option there, if it looks like that we don't, you know, we have surplus money in that so we can always go pay a little more off on that.
So, on this loan deal, do you have to go down to the State Board of Tax Appeals in order to get permission to do this? For him, as a county commissioner, you can just call up your local bank and say, hey, I need a loan, or what?
Yeah, that's basically all there is to it.
I know when we had to go for the city on the sewer project, I had to go down to Topeka and present my case to them, and then they got back to me if we go borrow money or not. So.
You did know the elevator before I came, but yeah, they just got, you know, when you do the elevator, there's a loan on that. It's $160,000 or something like that. I can't remember. I think it's a 5-year, I'm not for sure. But that would be then after we, you know, we're way behind on the equipment. That's the sad thing. I mean, this thing has been delayed for so long, and it's probably going to take at least 3-4 years to get some of the equipment back up. You're hearing my opinion what I've seen, and you kind of, you know, you've been in the system and you kind of know, but you know, the facilities at Effingham are going to have to be converted now so we can have living quarters.
Yeah. back to funding, you know, you're gonna spend money that you do or don't have, one or two, but, the sales tax, wasn't it voted on and approved to be used for the landfill and for the comm center?
Yes.
So how can you say we can take it and use it if it was voted on to be used for one purpose?
Because it's not, we're not, the way I'm understanding this, and I've worked on this, I know where you're coming from, I'd love to be there with it, but is we're not, hands aren't quote totally tied, because if we went to the legislature and done it like we did the ballpark,
Yes?
then your hands are completely tied. That's the only place that money can be used. Because that money was not used.
So are we gonna have to change all the contracts with the cities then? Because we signed a contract saying that we would take your money and keep it?
Well, those
give it back to
contracts,
you in a timely fashion?
those contracts have been broken. They're not even contracts, they're ordinance.
It was just a,
Yeah.
word of mouth thing, you know.
No, it's not a piece of paper.
No, I've got the documentation. It was an ordinance, of course, an ordinance can be rescinded, and then, as Pat will explain to you, this is a very complicated thing. It's only a year-to-year thing anyway. Well, on a cash basis, I mean, any kind of contract is a year-to-year basis. If we sign something with Tex, or we sign something with AMR, we could sign a 20-year contract, and we're only obligated to do 1 year at a time. So.
So then the tax is nullified and void then?
The what?
The sales tax is nullified and void, means the contract's been broken?
It's still voted, it was, my understanding, it was voted in good intentions, the people voted on it right, but the legal ramifications, we found out, that no one's obligated to pay, you know, they're not obligated to pay their shit back if they don't want to. See, that's what puts us in a bind, Tim, and that's what I'm hoping that we can get resolved here within the next year, because,
So then you're saying you wanna use the sales tax money that you can't get access to? Basically.
we're using what sales tax money that we do get to help fund this. That's where that solid waste fee now has to come in to compensate for that. There'll still be sales tax money used for solid waste.
What you collect?
Pardon?
I mean, what you get collected?
Yes.
Folks know the cities are turning the money into, except for Muskota and Huron. That's not a whole lot of money, is it?
Well, no. Effingham's been given, you guys have been running close to that 100%.
Yeah, 105 for some reason, I don't understand.
Well, I think it's probably because of the time,
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
The year before always comes the next year.
Right. You got, 1 year you may look to 95, whatever. Yeah, Huron and Muskota, you guys have been pretty much, I'd call it 100% since the, Muskota held back for a little, back in the, I think back before Tom came on, there was a short time they held some back, and then they finally decided that was.
Well, we're holding ours back now, so.
You've paid some.
Yeah, but my council voted not to pay because City Action doesn't pay.
Well, and that's what if you guys, if that's what, that's no problem, you have that right. Okay? We don't like it. That's part of the reason that we need to be relooking at, okay? To have to do the sales tax thing. I think you and I probably would agree. I think this is something the voters need to decide on. It's just now a matter of.
Well, that's my point. Why don't we just nullify this whole thing and bring it up to a vote? And the money goes to fund the ambulance system.
Yeah. And I
What if it
think.
didn't pass?
Hmm?
What if it didn't pass? Voters didn't want that.
Yeah, we can't, I don't think we're in a position we want.
Maybe it takes some marketing to get that done, I don't know.
We're not in a position, and I haven't got the legal, I've got a request into the Kansas Association of Counties. They're supposed to be looking at what the procedure is, what we need to do to relook or revoke this and or repeal. I haven't got their answer back. We can't do anything till next legislative session anyway. because the correct way to do this is to go to the legislature and get a statute and say, let's, you know, and all that is they're giving us permission to vote on this.
Mhm.
And it will have a sunset date. When you go to the legislature, it'll have a sunset date on it. And so, we would ask them, the way I understand it, citizens of Atchison County, consider a 1 cent sales tax to fund EMS, solid waste, and like joint communications. We can get all three of them, because those are probably the three big general things. I mean, I think when you look at it, those are the three big things that we all really truly share. And two of those three things we're mandated to do. That's the ambulance service and solid waste. Joint communications, we're not obligated. That's just been the gentleman's agreement for when they started up, that we were gonna, you know, do that.
Mhm.
And then you can also say, we can divide that accordingly. We can ask for whole 1 cent sales tax, or you could say, okay, 80%, 80% will come to the county, and 20% will go to all the other incorporated cities, you know, something like that. Might be 60-40, I don't know. The big key, we're getting into politics here, which you and I love, now, you have to get everybody kind of in agreement on where you want to be with that when you go down to the legislature. Because usually, if we don't go down there united with that, the committee will just throw it out, and we'll be right back to where we are now.
But if you're doing it as just a county sales tax, the cities wouldn't have to be involved in it, would they?
You still have to do it. The way this was voted is the countywide sales tax, when you vote it the way they voted it, it gets distributed according to population and valuation, okay? If you want that money to bypass, you know, if you wanted it all to bypass the cities,
Right.
you have to go to the legislature.
I'm
and get that.
understanding all that.
Yeah, okay,
I understand that this is a way to
Right.
weasel around and get it passed the last time.
right.
But what I'm saying is, if it was just a county sales tax, the money wouldn't be going to the cities. You wouldn't be waiting on the cities to send you the money they collected for you.
Well,
It
that's
comes
the way
directly
it is,
to
that's
you.
the way it is now.
No,
No, it isn't. It's
No, it's
all
not.
split up in the city.
no, it's not.
Yeah,
We collect the
okay.
sales tax for you, then we mail you a check.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why if you.
Or we
pass-
don't mail you a check.
If you pass it, right, and that's your option. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna argue on that part of it.
All the contract says is paid in a timely fashion, it doesn't say what time.
Right. The thing is, the way I understand it is that whenever you just go to countywide sales, that's the way it's gonna be, unless you go to the legislature and get that specific.
I
wording.
understand that.
Yeah.
So
that's.
that's my point, is let's abolish this other thing and go with countywide sales tax that supports this.
Right, but we have to go through the legislature, so
I
that's.
understand.
So that's.
So what you're saying is there's no way you can force cities to pay this countywide sales tax that's owed to the county.
Believe me, if I had a way, I would. It's a legal question. All right. It was a legal thing that they found, you know. If you read through all that information, I mean, you'll see clearly that 2004, this thing was floating along really good, and then all of a sudden, the atmosphere changed. And that's when the payments didn't come in. And actually until, you know, Effingham only the last 2 years it withheld half of their money,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Okay, failure. I still have no answer to that question. Next question is, all this talk about EMS and all this, and where does Atchison County Rescue end up after this is all said and done? Is there an Atchison County Rescue?
My understanding there is, Wes, I mean,
We'll have the eastern half of the county. His question is, which I asked Tom and Jeff, will we still have first responders? As in, will the people that currently run the ambulance system on the western half of the county, he wants to know if they will still first respond.
No,
for
not
them.
so much that, but I mean, if there is an accident, and you need extrication, and it's in my favorite intersection, 73 and 286,
Mm-hmm.
who's coming to cut these people out of the car?
The rural fire district, Effingham. That's who we're giving the equipment to.
And how can they do that when they're only insured to do their district?
Then we'll need to address that.
So Effingham is gonna become Rescue 2, and there'll still be a Rescue 1,
There'll still be rescue on the eastern half of the county.
and that'll be funded through,
The county, that's through emergency management still. Which technically you could run on that. If you want.
so the county's gonna insure Effingham, run Rescue in the western part of the county?
Effingham Rescue is already insured to run in the western half of the county. They can run in the whole county, they just don't. The Aston County Rescue Service can run in the whole county and has,
Yes.
but they don't because we have the
So will the
extrication.
rescue truck still be part of Addison County Rescue, only ran by Effingham Fire Department?
No, they're donating that truck to
There's my
the
question.
fire department. So we'll have to talk with that fire district to make sure they're insured
And they can run out of district.
and they can run out of district.
where is their line, do you know, Wes?
Larry Coder's
Larry
backyard,
Coders, yeah,
city of Farmington.
yep. I mean, yes, I do have it on a map, not a map in here though. I will get with that fire department and see what needs to be done for them to run on the whole eastern part of the county, or western part of the county. Is that what you're hoping for?
Just wanting to know if I'm gonna be out there with a cutting torch cutting people out of the car. That's all I want to know.
Hopefully
As a
not.
volunteer, nobody.
Yeah, hopefully not with a cutting torch ever, but, we'll find out insurance wise and if there's anything that would stop them from doing so. I mean, to fix that, we could donate half the truck to Effingham and half the truck to Lancaster. That'd be difficult and
I'm just running on the fire ladder, that's not my decisions.
You guys don't have a rescue vehicle in your
No.
fleet, do you?
No,
Okay, I think that's okay.
no, we're just like every fire district in this county. We got mutual aid agreements.
Yep.
Because during the daytime, there's probably only 2 or 3 people around,
Right.
so we need help.
And wouldn't that mutual aid,
I have no
Cover
clue.
them.
I have no clue.
I will get with them and find out. That's the best answer that I can get.
Yeah, that needs to be ironed out.
Yeah, those little fine points like that.
I don't know what it covers.
You sometimes just assume it's okay, but, you know, there's.
But see, that's what I'm asking, is it still will be Addison County Rescue ran by the fire department in Effingham? Or is it gonna be Effingham Fire Department Rescue
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Effingham.
with money supplied by the county? I don't know.
There is no money, they're just getting the equipment.
But then the eastern half of the county will be Addison County Rescue supplied by money from the county.
Correct.
Man, we're getting right back to where we were with the ambulances. Everybody thinks it's unfair that we're paying taxes to. Gosh. Something to think about.
I don't understand all the rest, I mean, I'm beginning to learn about the ambulance.
Well,
And you understand the whole system a lot better, but,
I understand how it worked before. I mean, we were rescued with ambulance, wreck. We cut people out of the car, load them, and go. Now, we're gonna have an ambulance that's not gonna cut them out of the car.
and there's what, I didn't get.
Now you're gonna have an ambulance system that doesn't do rescue to get people out of cars, before, out in ditches or whatever, things like that.
But
Not every call is gonna be a medical call.
But you'll have Effingham Fire Department responding from the western side of the county, and you'll still have,
So whatever area you can respond to, if you
Correct.
can't move district.
and if they can't, then you'll still have Aston County Rescue responding. I mean, just because the equipment's on the western side of the county, and Effingham Fire District was to respond, well, if they need help, it's more than one car, they're gonna call out the other fire, or the other rescue squad.
We would assume that, yes.
Yeah. So you'll have,
If you have an agreement to do that.
we'll have an agreement to do that. We have a mutual aid
But that's what I'm
rescue
saying, if
already.
this is gonna be a county run on the eastern side, well, how fair is that to the western side, that we're paying taxes for that, but we're depending on whether Effingham's got anybody that can give a truck and come out, because basically, isn't that what the problem is, the ambulance, I mean, the hospital doesn't want to be an ambulance business anymore.
Correct. More of the fire departments are available to respond during the day than our EMS was, though. You have more people that are on the volunteer fire department that are around during the day,
Basically, the same ones, yeah.
so.
Some of that might even.
Anyway, I'd like to know where rescue's gonna end up after this shakes out. Because I've been involved with rescue longer than I've been involved with EMS. I mean, I was on when we started the rescue.
Which rescue you, the one was you?
Western.
You on the western part.
No, when they started this one down, when they brought the first truck, I was on when they brought the first truck.
So you're on, you eastern too?
I'm just rescue.
You're just rescue, okay.
I've got this intersection that's really popular for bad
Yeah,
cars, and that's kind of where I'm at, so.
Yeah,
We should get counselor to look in those agreements.
yes,
How they need to do a structure so everybody's covered fairly.
Currently, rescue has mutual aid agreements with all of the fire departments in the county. Some of them are about to expire. So we've got those. And I can ask Kirk Clipper, the fire chief for Effingham, if there's anything that's gonna restrict him from leaving his district,
Probably better check with his insurance company.
then he'll need to check with his insurance company.
Effingham is getting equipment or fire district number two?
They're both the same now.
Oh, they are?
Fire district number 2 is ran, Effingham runs under fire district number 2.
Oh.
So, let's clarify that. Their Ashton County Fire District number 2 is who's getting the equipment,
Not the city of Effingham.
not the city of Effingham.
You got
But they are
Benton
based.
Township,
Yeah,
Benton Township Fire Department.
yeah.
Basically, that township, what they took in, but everything's fire district now instead of township fire departments.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get funding better, and insurance coverage cheaper, and it's just,
Yep.
And their boundary is Larry Coder's house.
I'll send you a map.
Okay.
I'll send you a map that's color coded where their area is.
Just the other city one.
Well,
It's on the
like
website.
Rescue for the western part of the county, that was the same as the ambulance,
Correct.
the dividing line is the
Correct.
same.
But if they needed help, then you always, then they call for a rescue on the eastern half of the county to come and
And they've been known as Rescue Two,
It's all Ashton County Rescue.
like but when they say it on the scanner, they say Rescue Two.
this is rescue one, rescue two, now it's just rescue one in Effingham,
Yeah,
two is the rescue truck, so.
yep.
Tim, were you on the advisory committee when they started looking at the ambulance service? Because, see, that, you weren't on that?
No.
Okay. See, that role was formed before I came on, that was.
No,
the
I don't
advisory-
serve on any advisory committees that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. That was one of the early meetings they invited me to when they made the decision that basically the volunteer service was about to go defunct in the hospital, all of the hospital at that meeting didn't officially say they wanted out, but they had indicated they would like, or through the grapevine, they indicated they'd like, they came to the, I guess, a March meeting, and they made this formal announcement. And JD came with it too, so that's when we officially put this into action, starting to look at
Yeah, I'm aware of all that.
how we do this, so.
It's, I mean, this goes in cycles, it's been a mess ever since it started, and, yeah.
Before then,
Hmm?
before then.
Yes, before then, it's always been an issue, a mess, or something like that, somebody gets tired of running because it doesn't make any money, or whatever, and, yeah. Or sometimes it's too snowy and they don't wanna bring an ambulance out, and stuff like that, been there before too.
Anybody that comes in thinks they're gonna make much money or anything, like they're running ambulance service, why? Even if the county, there's so much subsidy that you have to pay.
Sure, sure.
And,
That brings you back down to the level of commitment you wanna put to it, as far as, do you want paramedics? You have to have paramedics. No is the answer to that. But it's something that we've had, and it's something that is handy, because, yeah.
would you feel comfortable not having paramedics?
Would I feel comfortable not having paramedics? 90% of the time, yeah.
What do you do about the 10%?
Probably the same thing we do now. You went in birds in.
Call it chopper.
Basically, that's what we do now. It's a transfer station where we go to. They're either going out on a chopper or they're going someplace else.
Are you
The idea of the paramedic was, paramedics can do just as much can be done in an emergency room setting and sustain life. Quote, in a decent time period.
Yeah, I know there's kind of a gray area there, how to what extreme you have to go on EMS service.
We never really had paramedics until the hospital took over.
That's before me.
First paramedic this county ever had would have been JD. And when the hospital took over, then we went to, MICTs. They just got to be called paramedics this year, so. But yes, that's handy to have. I mean, they can do drugs, they can do, as I say, in the proper amount of time. If you're responding, your response time is 30 minutes and it's been on set that's been going on for a couple hours, probably they don't have enough time. Which brings me to my third question, which I know you all can answer. And
Ask it
maybe
anyway.
he can answer, because nobody seems to have an answer. I would assume, and maybe I'm assuming wrong, once you do sign the contract and you get it done before your budget has to be finalized, so you got enough money to pay them, hopefully you get that done. And on December 31st, when somebody goes out there and slaps their sign with the top of the Accident Hospital Association sign on an ambulance, is there going to be some type of first responder network set up to assist these ambulances? Now, I know the city of Axton has their own fire department. I would assume that it's going to stay that way. But once they leave the city of Axton, I know we'll have rescue and all that. But are there going to be first responders? What's their proper name now?
First responder, you're right.
Whatever they're
EMR.
talking about. There you go. Emergency first responders, whatever.
Yeah.
And also, maybe some EMTs
Mm-hmm.
that will be responded to the situation before an ambulance gets there. And I know that'll be up to the service, but is that something the county's gonna require that there be a first responder system established and training takes place for it? Or is that gonna go through rescue? Which is only gonna cover eastern part of the county.
Well, actually, all of my current people that run on the western half of the county should join the eastern half of the county, and we should have central meetings. And you should still have first responders, because I've talked to, texting, and they would prefer first responders, because there's times when two people on a truck cannot handle the situation. For example, lifting a very heavy patient out of a house downstairs, two people can't do that, so they need first responders, and they said they had. So, this should just be rescue in general. Yeah, the trucks are housed in Atchison, but all people in the western half that still want to volunteer and still want to first respond, I think they should get to stay with rescue and still respond, because you're already trained. You know, we've trained you to how everything works, and it'd be awesome if we could hold those people.
But it's something that's never been addressed, that I've ever heard in conversations, or we're just an ambulance service. But what happens to the system that we had before?
It's a good question. I mean, I just, here again, I assumed that it was gonna, outside of just moving the equipment responsibility to the District 2, now I guess you know, they were taking care of that, and the other was taking care of it.
And they want to take care of extrication. They do. And they've all been, I believe they've all been through some training now, because they did that last month, I believe, in extrication training. But not all of them are first responders. There's actually very few of them that are first responders. But I think 3 of them are actually first responders. One's an EMT. So it still would be nice to have first responders on the western side of the county. And to make it fair, I mean, rescue on the western half and rescue on the eastern half merge together, and still have responders that way that are trained. And I asked this to Jeff and me, and he said he's gonna bring it up in one of your meetings, that me and JD have also talked about.
Merck, you talking about?
First responders, all people, yeah.
You got more questions?
Nope, haven't got any answers yet. I'm just asking questions for you to think about.
Well, now you know why you read it that way.
Well, I think you got some questions. I mean,
No,
technically, you do, you know.
you're gonna look into two of them. You're gonna look into two of them.
Well, I'm working on the sales tax, but I can't give you the specifics yet until they get back with me. But I do know that you're not obligated, because it's been going on for years. You can rescind an ordinance, can't you?
I didn't get a chance to dig up my ordinance or resolution, whatever we got on it, so.
I didn't bring it with me, but I got it. It's in that packet of stuff that I gave you.
Now, I was gonna look and see what we passed, I can't remember what we passed.
Don't they still call them interlocal agreements?
Right, so it is a contract.
But it's a year-to-year deal, so. What are we doing?
Well, I guarantee you, it's gonna been signed after the first year, if there's a year-to-year agreement. I'm not aware of anyone.
Well, I think everybody just assumed, 20 years ago, the old gentleman agreement, when you sign a contract, you think it's just ongoing. So, I assumed it would be unless you rescinded the ordinance. It's just a matter of, I think if you get into the technicalities when you read that ordinance.
All I know is in my clerk does, our budget, everybody, state people, they always ask the same question, why is this in there? And she has to explain to them that it's a county tax, we collect, it's just a pass-through tax, we don't keep tax, we don't use the tax.
Well, it's it's divvied, it don't matter what it's for or whatever, it's divvied out accordingly. And that's the way it is. But if you want specific for a specific project, like the ballpark, you go down to the legislature and get that. Even got your signature on it.
No, that's not my signature, so unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
And yes, it is ordinance, so.
Yeah, every city, I've got a copy of that. Every city has an ordinance. And agree, you know, I think you get into some technicalities, I think it says that they will pay their share. Now, what is the definition of their share?
State's got to figure it out, because they send us a check every once in a while.
Yeah. Well, they've got one.
It's whatever, whatever taxes collected in the city of Lancaster are the same.
No. I think it's
Population and valuation.
the whole, whatever's collected in a countywide sales tax. You guys probably, it could be that, no, it has nothing to do with how much you collect in Lancaster. 'Cause that's all, yeah, it all goes in, the way I understand it, all goes in there. And it's divvied back according to your population valuation. So probably in all honesty, if you look at it, Huron and Muskota is getting way more than when it's divvied back according to valuation population. But and that's hard to say because you don't know how much. Well, they haven't generated any sales tax in their city. But they probably spent their money in Atchison or something, or in the county somewhere, and then that money goes into the county sales tax stuff. So, where is most of the business?
St. Joe.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, well, I guess I'll wait and read the paper with it.
Well, okay.
Don't put too much weight on my shoulders.
I think that's one of the intentions that fall, I talked to you guys about this fall summer we're gonna have. There's a lot of issues coming at the state level, at legislative, that's gonna affect all of us. And I think we need to be discussing that, and I think that the sales tax thing will be an issue that we will all need to sit down and talk about as, governing bodies within the county, and see if we can resolve it, because Tom won't have to worry about it.
I'm not gonna have to worry about it to wait till April to do it next year, so.
Why? You moving?
No, elections.
Oh.
You're not running again?
I don't plan on filing, but that doesn't mean I won't get elected.
Yeah, just say, you'll get right in, you'll be right in. But no, what I'm saying is, and we can't, when the budget stuff's already, we're set through 13, this would be something, even if we voted it next year, probably wouldn't take effect until 14. And, I don't want to be, I want to know where we're at. I mean, in order to finance these things that we're obligated to do, I don't want to be not knowing from month to month whether you're going to get the revenue you think you're going to get in terms of from the sales tax. And that is the downfall of the sales tax. You don't know if the economy turns sour, even more sour than what it is, that revenue could go down. And that is maybe one of the few selling points of the solid waste fee is that you couldn't depend on a sales tax to go with them in bad times.
Okay, I don't have any more questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wes, for helping.
Anytime.
I hadn't quite understood the whole versus, I'm still learning that. Because I really assumed, pretty much that other stuff was in it.
I thought by getting in touch with them, that Effingham was going to respond to all medical calls, and they want to respond to all the accidents. Because the fire department doesn't have
if we're looking down the road, someday, you know, the recycling center and rescue becomes the ambulance center, is it, should the rescue be located in a different place?
No, that would, if you're going to clean up the recycling building, I would set the ambulances up right there and have them all, I mean, it's just like a little emergency center. You have rescue.
What happened there too, okay, even though they're clear,
Yeah.
this, I mean,
Yeah, because the buildings they're currently in, they would stay in, you would put the ambulances in the other building that's adjoined, and then you're running a
Okay.
fire right there too, that's a perfect little emergency.
it's just, all I'm saying is that, it makes a distance, if Effingham could respond, it's pretty good distance within that to do.
I don't see Effingham Fire Department not being able to respond to an accident because a lot of their volunteers are farmers, which are always
They're-
around ambulance.
Where is their fire truck located?
In the blue building.
Along with the city?
The city has one fire truck, to my knowledge, and the county, Rural Two, owns the rest of them, and Kirk Clipper runs them both.
They're working on trying, they've got the land to build a fire station out there west of the fairgrounds. And that's what they're working on. Right now, try to find a way
To build it.
to build it.
The actual building that they were building, the plans they have drawn up was big enough to house every one of their fire trucks, and then both rescue ambulances, because when they were doing plans, they thought, well, it would have been great to be able to house the ambulances there also. This,
So have they looked into the community block grant?
they tried to get a grant, and,
That fire district ever got compared to?
yeah, they tried to do a grant that would pay for it, and that fell through. And now, I don't know exactly, they're looking into alternatives to fund the building. Because the new building that they currently house, everything in it is not big enough, they have one of their trucks parked at their Clipper's garage. So they're looking for another.
And it is, it's a little bit of a nuisance, and, you know, the city needs it, the rest of it, they have to move stuff in. I mean, it's-
Yeah. And then you have to worry about the park in front of fire doors.
They just need to call, pool together, buy a lottery ticket.
Well, they don't have like a shower and stuff in that blue building.
There's no shower, just restrooms.
Just
But I
restrooms on
mean,
the
if
other
they had
side.
to take, you know, like, like a chemical or something,
Yeah.
where would they
Do
have
a
to go?
decon.
To your building?
I'm not sure where they're gonna take the decon.
So we can fire truck.
There you go, that's right. Realistically, that's probably what they do. So, the new building that they hope to build will fix all that. But they have to find funding for it first.
That's usually the case.
Yeah. Jeff sent him several firehouse grants, that he, I believe, applied for, so.
I'm just curious about that community development block, whatever it is.
That's the same thing that Shannon did.
They just did only, they're doing that on their own. They're paying for it through levy, tax levy,
So we have Kurt call you.
not me, I didn't do it. I just know that, and they can only do 5, I think it's over 5 years. Maybe you need to talk to the fire show, somebody from fire show.
I would think Spider,
Huh?
Spider would be.
Spider or somebody from that fire department.
Sure, because they already had the land, over the guy's name, that he donated, so.
I still have to talk to,
So, yeah, do you understand his concern about the first responder system, make sure that that's.
We discussed that, they want to
Two of the three.
Two of the trucks will still be housing accident, because you only need those for accidents, just a first responder would call you, go in your own vehicle. So we'll still have extrication on the eastern side and extrication on the western side. Okay. Is there anything else?
Yeah, is the burning man off?
It is off.
I figured.
Yep.
If he
It
can
is-
burn.
It is off.
He can
You
burn.
I can burn, I burn the trash.
Till Wednesday, Thursday.
I just do Wednesday, Thursday, going back on. We'll see how
Friday and
it
Saturday, we're supposed to have one.
And they moved it back to Wednesday next week, and then Thursday, which is.
Tuesday or Wednesday next week.
Changed it?
Yep. So, if we get more rain, then we'll say burn ban off.
Tom, you need some help?
If we don't,
Yeah, a lot.
Call Joe,
Sucker head.
one of your guys.
Well, it's a little clip on this thing that got broke one time. Looks like it fixed it. But it's been working pretty good. Former commissioner had this drawer, no longer on here. And, he accused me of breaking it. But I didn't hurt it. So I did it when he did it.
So there was never any question if the Turkey contract got terminated of who owed what contract, which, sounds to me like.
That's a new standard.
Well, it sounds to me like, in talking to the other counties that they do, I mean, it's basically, unless they have equipment, but it's basically only your disposable supplies are they gonna own. So, that's what they're responsible for. I mean, we like the heart monitors and any of the equipment and stuff, we're responsible for that, so.
Glenn, you got any of these little, tabs that hold the things on these folders?
You read the label?
Labels, with the label on them.
So when did you guys think about postponing today's meeting? Was that over the weekend or?
Well, when I thought I heard about it, I just told, I called Jeff cause I figured, we had texts, I said he wouldn't be here, but I'm not for sure he was in support, so I said, well, to be fair, I said, you wanna just cancel Monday's meeting? I said, I was available too. He said, yeah, that's fine. I said, well, let me know. And I didn't hear anything till about 8 o'clock this morning. I called Jeff, and he didn't answer. 5 after 9, my phone beeped, and I got a message. He said, well, Pat, because I didn't understand, but.
So the meeting's lost?
Yeah, you had to have so many days notice or something. And so he said, no, the meeting's on. I said, okay. I said, well, then that's when I called Tom, and I told Tom all I had to do was change clothes and run in, so that's the deal. It was just a miscommunication. So I just assumed that it was, that he was gonna take care of it. And I even tried calling him, but she'd already come up here, so. Anyway. But, I just thought we just thought that was too big of a issue if he wasn't gonna be here, like, have any more questions and stuff, so. I just hate pushing it back any further. It's gonna take them some time to get some stuff in place. If we agree to go with them, and if we don't, then we gotta find somebody else to do it.
On this budget, I'm hoping that, are we putting some of the departments in this budget? Have you been instructed as to what to do?
You mean,
The health department, putting those in the general fund, what are we doing? Have they ever
Are they
been?
supposed to be on a separate fund, I think?
they got a,
We put them on a separate fund, but
but they can go to general. Is that what you're saying as
So
well?
is election going in the general or is it going outside by itself?
I don't think that's been formally discussed, other than I know Jeff's got some ideas about putting, I don't know at all.
So do you want everything outside and then if you decide, then we can put it into the general fund?
I assume we'll look at some of that. I mean, there's some advantages of, I know the county clerk says the more you can put into the general, the better off you are.
Well, solid waste and telecommunications should be outside.
They're outside, yes. They're outside. And senior village is outside.
How about road and bridge?
Road.
Should be outside?
What do you think, Tom? They got their own department.
Yeah, that's a pretty big department, I'd say it should be a.
Which is somewhere we could combine road and bridge and solid waste. Don't think we can do that.
No, I don't either.
I just would have a big pot of money and just divvy it out when it's gone, it's gone.
And you'd have some departments that, when they're low on cash, that, well, Road and Bridge spend all the money.
Yeah. Well, there's never enough money. I do want to have
Oh, and, the then inspection, are you putting that courthouse security and the then guy under the sheriff's office, or you putting?
Sure.
So is the then money going out of general fund into the sheriff's fund?
I think it was just gonna stay, going back to the general, I believe. So it becomes, I mean, it'd be nice, but, I'm not sure we're there yet. We didn't have some rebudgeting to do.
Huh?
I said that's just kind of a temporary agreement.
Okay.
I think, once they get the numbers and stuff all plugged in, I think they may be able to redo it if it needs to be done.
Well, should have done, need to come up with something.
He's,
I helped him Wednesday. Yeah, that's going.
Oh, we gotta put that. That's in community health clinic.
yeah, we'll move it over to, I think that's.
So are you wanting to plug in some money for him?
No, what Jeff told me is they were asking,
I know she
I'd
came
bring
up,
them closer, but
she came up to ask for money.
We gotta pay, we gotta pay that
this
this year.
Yeah, it's a one-time deal. And if,
Well, I thought it was every year, but I don't
This,
know.
this, they were asking for,
They need money for a grant
yeah.
for this year. Matching grant.
so this for this year?
It doesn't specifically, it says we would ask the county to support our clinic at SIST with $10,000 to be used as a matching fund for health and
about our new aerial photography, and don't put it in writing, because I want you guys to tell me if I should give it to them or not, so. How's it going here?
It's going. I have a question. Since you can go to
I'm ready.
on our formula. Do you still figure you're gonna have this like 11 point,
Right, that's state statute,
okay.
commercial
So
swimming.
that's not.
That's just, that's my value, how it gets down to the assessment value.
No, if anything has
Nope,
changed.
not that I know.
I knew that it was 11.5. So I'll make sure that after I did one number crunch, I would.
You see any problem with this?
Probably not.
Okay.
But, you know, if we spend all the money for that, who do I give it to, who I don't give it to? Because some people probably gonna resell it or all kinds of stuff.
Well,
We don't even have our hands on it yet. He's talking about the new one, we should be getting anytime.
Then put it in your agreement that they can't,
Well, we own the aerial, so.
but I mean that they cannot.
Well, it says it does not own any of the data. So, but I guess that said.
But in other words, they're gonna give you back, the rural water district, anything that they do with the pool, like the lines and all that.
Right.
So you,
We can put that as a layer on our maps, so. we'll have
which
it.
should help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Water District number 1, they're not requesting this, it's the,
No, it's the.
KRWA.
Yeah, it's the Kansas Rural Water Association.
I thought it was okay, but I said, just put it in writing, I was just gonna let you see what, you know, I don't see a problem with it, but.
Yeah, I think on the Water District, I'd supply them in that.
You wanna make a motion for me to approve? Do you?
I don't know if I need a formal
Okay.
approval, I just wanna make sure that you don't feel like I'm doing something,
What's that?
you know.
Then execute it to your best.
I hate to give out anything that was, you know,
Yeah.
to that guy.
But you know, the county, anybody in the county, do it for them.
Right, and that's what we kind of pay attention to. That's it, well, what the heck, put it right. At least you say something kind of request that you give us, so. Well, we can't give it to them yet, because we don't have it.
Okay. Thanks. Mr. Vice Chairman, you want a motion to adjourn? Or we got other business to take care of?
No, but what I think we take it, we need, tentatively, the tractor, that extra tractor at the county lake is, Jeff Hopkins looked at it, and he is, very much sure that it'll sell pretty good. And, we need approval, we wanna wait till Wednesday to do it, or we can approve it, just consign it to bid sale on September.
In October or September?
September 29th. So,
Is it surplus? They don't need it, don't want it out there?
they don't need it. See, the only reason he kept that tractor, it's a pretty little tractor, it's a little rough because they haven't, during the summer, when he was mowing that rotary, few little spots that you'll have to probably hook up to the road and mow. They won't be able to get too big necessarily with that zero turn thing or whatever. So there's no use of it just sitting out there. It needs a new battery, if you jump starts it every time it needs to use. So, I mean, it's not gonna bring a lot of money, but it makes it flash. You can, well, you can 50, 60 horsepower tractor, just, it's got 3-point hooks, it's got hydraulics, it is forward, so somebody, you'd be surprised how many of them, I call it city farmers, whatever, want to have a little tractor to play with, you know, and stuff, so.
They have a big garden, they want to.
Big, yeah, with a 2-run plow or something. And then Skyview, called, and, I talked to Pat about this. They, earlier, their proposal, they said they're gonna go up, but they went ahead and ordered a mower, and they will require no down payment. So that takes us off the hook for, Pat says you can't really do that with a cash basis, we couldn't put $1,000 and stuff down, so they were waiting. They would write up a contract that we wouldn't have to pay until the first week of January. But, we'll need authority to go sign that. That's, we can do that. I just made a note, we can, when Jeff gets here, we'll officially do that. But you don't have any problem selling the tractor?
Nope. I don't have a problem with it.
Well, I think it'll bring $12,000, and that'll make a pretty good payment on the mower. Otherwise, I guess I'm done.
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn at 11:30.
I second that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Be sure you put in there I was late, Mary.
Oh, it'll be in there.
All right, good.
So we still don't know when the